Hi, my name's Chrissie Page, and you should go pluck yourself.
Hello and welcome to Go Pluck Yourself, the Actor's Pursuit. My name is Chris Gunn. How you doing, guys? I hope you're all having a good Friday. Just quickly, before I get to today's guest, I just want to let you guys know that if you're in Adelaide at the end of April, I'll be doing a play at the Goodwood Theatre from the 24th of April until the 2nd of May. It's called The Housewarming by Famous Last Words Theatre. So if you want to see what I do live, get yourself some tickets real quick. I'll put a link in the description below. Get them right now, guys. Bring your friends. Today's guest is Chrissie Page, and I just want to start off by saying how lucky I feel to call this amazing woman a friend and how grateful I am that I said yes to doing that opera back in 2020 or whenever it was, because if it wasn't for that, who knows if I would have met her. Well, actually, I probably would have met her eventually because I have bumped into her on many, many projects since then. But that's where we first clicked, and she was so welcoming and warm and interested and interesting, and it just made that experience so wonderful. And no, I wasn't singing in this opera. I was a supernumerary, supernumerary. Well, I don't like saying that word. Basically, it's a non-speaking, non-singing extra in an opera, and who knows how that came about, but it was just one of those yeah, why not experiences, you know? And I'm really glad I did it because so many of the amazing artists that I met during that show, I'm still in touch with today. And yeah, it's a nice little lesson in just saying yes to things, some things, and seeing where they take you. But anyway, it led me to meeting this amazing human being, our guest today, Chrissie Page. Chrissie is someone that I've wanted to have on the show for a very long time now because whenever I bump into her on set, we always have the best chats. She's so lovely and open and caring and hardworking. But aside from that, she's also just this icon in the industry, whether she knows it or not. I hope she knows that. She's had this amazingly broad career. She's been in some of Australia's biggest films and shows such as The Royal Hotel, Stateless, Aftertaste, Troppo, Harrow, The Tourist, Wolf Creek. The list genuinely goes on. And on top of all that, she's been absolutely cleaning up internationally and nationally in the short film space as well. Her short film, Future Harvest, won her Best Actor at both the Paris Women's Film Festival and the Barcelona Film Festival in 2003. And then her most recent short, which was called And the Ocean Agreed, where she played a woman with dementia who rediscovers herself through the ocean. That won her Best Actor at the Women's Worldwide Film Festival in 2025. And the film itself was nominated for an ACTA Award for Best Short Film. And I think it also took her to LA. Pretty amazing. She's also a genuine advocate for this industry off screen. She sits on the SA Performers Committee. She's involved with the Performers Support Fund. And she's even submitted to the Australian government arguing for proper arts funding back when the government was making massive cuts to the arts. Amazing woman. Anyway, I want to get to the chat. But before I do, just do these 3 things for me, guys, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button just below this video. It really helps to boost the algorithm so that more people can stumble across these conversations. You can also follow the podcast on any podcast player if you prefer to listen to the show. Number 2, send this episode to a friend, at least one friend or more if you want. If there's someone you know, an actor or a filmmaker or an artist who you think will enjoy this chat, let them know. The best way to get this podcast out there is word of mouth, and you guys have no idea how much of a difference it makes when you spread the word. And number 3, share this episode to your Instagram story and let me know where you're listening to this. Are you having your morning coffee? Are you walking off your Easter egg haul? Are you procrastinating learning your lines for the play that you have rehearsals for later today? Let me know. I love hearing from you guys. Okay, that's enough. Here we go. Please enjoy my very wholesome chat with the delightful Chrissie Page. How was the train ride over? Was it all right?
It was hilarious.
You had a good chat with some young man?
I did. I ended up giving him advice about his career, which is hilarious. Public transport, great place for watching.
Great for people watching.
Yeah, people watching and thinking, ooh, that'd be interesting to use one day.
Yeah. So I've bumped into you on 3 or 4 projects now over the years, and I've only really been doing this for a little while professionally. But we bumped into each other on Oh, we're in that Mozart. They're in Requiem, the opera.
Yes.
As supers.
As supers. We had a great time on that.
What were you doing on that again?
I was the old lady.
You didn't have to get nude, did you?
No,
Okay,
thank God.
okay.
And nobody would have enjoyed that anyway. I was the old lady who carried the orange.
Oh, that's right.
In various
Yes.
generational things. I had a great time on that.
It was so fun. Hey? Yeah. I played Jesus, or a kind of Jesus-like character. Jesus if he had short hair and was white.
Yeah. Oh, and the opening scene where I had to die. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And nobody could work out how they did the death trick of me sinking in the bed and disappearing.
Oh, yes, that's right.
If only they knew. I was covered in bruises and
Really?
it was hard work.
Do your own stunts.
But I used to lie there crying, there you go, because the chorus would be singing the Requiem.
Oh,
and I
man.
just got completely overwhelmed with this beautiful music.
It was such an amazing project.
Yeah.
Because, I'm just watching everyone. I'm just going, oh, my God, this is I want the festival theatre stage, and have this amazing chorus around you just singing right at you. You're like, it's the best seat in the house.
Yep, totally. No, I loved it.
That was surreal.
Loved
Hey?
it.
Yeah. And then we worked together. Well, we bumped into each other on With or Without You.
Yeah, and I ended up on the cutting room
And you
floor.
were cut. I can't believe it.
My very best little moment.
I know.
No.
You were the wicked, what do they call you? Wicked Witch of the West?
I can't remember.
I was supposed to call you that. And then you were supposed to flip me off.
The bird.
Go on.
I did the best.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But, apparently they needed extra screen time. And look, this happens so often.
Yeah.
And you can't get sad about it because it's just the way it goes.
That's the way it is. Hey?
Yeah.
I was every time I go to a premiere or something, and you bring all your family, and you came to the premiere.
I did.
Did you know that you'd been?
They'd already rung me, which was really nice.
That's good to know. Yeah.
And they gave me a credit as advocate for intimacy coordination or something like that, which I thought was really sweet because they didn't have to give me a credit.
Yeah. Oh man, I thought we were such a good duo in that.
I thought I had fun.
Yeah, it was a great day shooting that scene. But yeah, I'm always really worried about going to premieres and thinking, am I even in the film? I have no idea.
Or looking at yourself and going, oh my God, was not my intention.
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm the worst self-critic.
Yeah. I've learned not to express it out loud to people if I'm at something or if people are watching my work and I go, that was horrible. But like if people come up to me and say, that was great, I say, okay, I guess it's not up to me. So what about you? How do you do
sit
that?
there cringing usually because I still really struggle with seeing myself up on screen.
Yeah.
And like I said, often what my intention is and what I see are not, they don't match. But then how can you kind of compare? And you're in the moment anyway. But if people say to me, oh, I really love what you did, I try to be graceful and say thank you very much.
Yeah.
Even though I might be wanting desperately to say, oh, really?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I find it really hard. I did do something recently where I was like really critical on myself at the screening, and someone said to me like, "It's not up to you. It's good. You just don't ever put it down because people will start to believe it then."
I mean, I have seen some things where I've been proud, but there's always an element that I think as an actor, if you're not, you've got to be kind of objective in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of objective looking at yourself and going, and analysing what you've done as long as you don't beat yourself up for it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once the project's finished, it's done.
It's done.
It's out of your hands. And also you got to respect the filmmakers that are putting it together. It's their choices, it's their vision and they chose that take. So if you're criticising yourself, really, you're kind of criticising the filmmakers a little bit. So.
And you never really know what it looks like to someone else when they're looking down the camera at you.
Yes.
And what you think might be your best take could be appalling. You don't know. You're just there doing it, hoping that you're giving them what they want.
What does it feel like for you when you feel like you're really acting? Or what does a
Usually
good
when
take
I can't
feel like?
remember what I've done.
When you can't remember
Because
what you've done.
then I figure that I was in the zone or in the moment rather than looking over. I hate it when, and I have a character that kind of talks to myself in my ear, and I have to really push that person away so that I don't self-criticise when I'm working.
What do they say to you?
That was terrible.
Yeah.
You know, or be careful of this. Little voice in head. Very destructive. It's been there for many years, but I've learnt to control that little person. It has a name. It's called Parrot.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect.
I actually wrote a radio play about the voices in my head, which makes me sound like a raving lunatic, but there were a lot. And that was a really interesting process, putting that together and realising how I tick and what motivates me, and then working out where those voices have come from.
So what, did you perform this radio play or like record it?
It's recorded, yeah.
And what'd you do with it?
I haven't really done anything with it, which is typical Chrissie.
Has anyone seen it or heard it?
I offered it to Samri because it was centering around I had an illness a few years back and I wrote like a diary about I had cancer. Yeah. And I wrote a diary about my recovery and survival. Yeah. And the characters kind of popped into that.
Right, yeah.
And I found it years later and laughed and thought, this is really hilarious.
Oh, yeah?
So I started to write it as a radio play.
Oh, my God.
And got a grant. Amazing.
Yeah.
So grateful. Thank you, Arts SA, now called Create SA.
Yeah.
And recorded it and offered it to Samri because I was encouraged to do that. Whether they've done anything with it, I don't know.
I would love to see this or hear it.
It's pretty crazy. It's quite black.
Yeah.
But it's truthful.
Yeah.
You know, about the journey that I was on. I hate the word journey, but the
I use journey a lot.
Trip, whatever.
The trip I was on.
The trip.
Yeah.
And it was a trip too.
Yeah. I want to go back to like the beginning. Like where did acting start for you or performing?
Well, it's really interesting. As a little kid, I was quite a little energy bunny. I think probably had I lived in a different era, I would have had a label. Probably ADHD.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
I was incredibly energetic, very joyful and very disruptive in class. So that often gave me things to read out loud to the class and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
And I found I really enjoyed it, even as a little one.
Yeah.
And then I clearly remember in year one being in the nativity play, and I was given the Angel Gabriel role because there was quite a big announcement thing and I could handle that. Must have been a ghastly child. Anyway, I remember I can still feel the wings on my back and looking out and really liking I've thought about it on and off and thought, what was that about? Was it a moment of feeling seen? Or was it a moment of feeling power? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I remember really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I also remember being jealous of my girlfriend who got to be Virgin Mary, which is hilarious.
Oh, yeah?
But I think the Angel Gabriel kind of was that kind of announcement thing.
Right.
And that's where my first memory, which is such a silly thing. But
no, not at all. Same with me. I mean, we were doing plays in school as kids with Tilly, Tilda. We went to the same primary school and pretty much everyone that went to that primary school ended up in the arts, either as a musician or an actor.
Must have had good teachers.
Well, drama was such a big part of it because we would put on these things called Hags, Have a Go Show.
Oh,
Hags,
wow.
Which was just, anyone could write and perform a show. And it was once a month or once a term, I can't remember. And there would be the main performance done by the seniors home group. And then all the little kids would like do scenes from Neighbours or stuff, and I'd be running around as dogs and stuff, or would play piano. I used to play piano and stuff, or sing and stuff. But yeah, you used to love that.
That's so
just
cool.
Having an audience as a kid.
Having a voice.
Yes.
And this is,
being
I was
heard,
at primary school in the 50s, Chris.
Yeah,
and we're talking no drama.
Yeah.
No and a lot of quite disciplined classrooms and paddies, teachers that used to smack you if you were naughty. And even in secondary school, which was early 60s, I went to a school where there was no drama as well, no kind of creativity as such. I mean, if you wanted to learn music or art, you had to do it after school.
Right, of course, yeah.
But I had this amazing English teacher who got me when we were studying Shakespeare to be the reader.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. And English, I shot through that subject, didn't do quite so well in the others.
Yeah.
And then when I left school, because back then careers for women were quite narrow, I remember the head nun saying to me, Christina, you can be a nurse, a teacher, or a secretary. And I said, I want to be an actor. And she actually said, young ladies don't become actors.
Wow.
Well, hello, they do.
Yeah. Oh, my God. What a time, hey?
I know. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so I started at Teachers College. But the most amazing thing was they had a drama component, and I was taught by Morna Jones, who started Patch Theatre.
Really?
And that was when the real love kicked in and the real understanding of where I fitted.
I see. Was she running Patch then?
Well, I think it was called Little Patch Theatre then.
Okay.
And a lot of it was around puppetry.
Yeah.
And she taught me puppetry. And I used to have so much fun with a sock puppet.
Yeah.
But being the voice behind.
Really?
And being playful. And those poor children I taught had to suffer through my...
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They loved all the ridiculous things we used to do.
So how did you go from that to like did you end up in theatre and before any film stuff or?
I went into community theatre first and did a lot of that for many, many years. And then a girlfriend and I, Lynn Pike, who you may know, started an agency, actors agency.
Right, okay.
And then I walked away from performing for a while and focused on looking after actors, which was amazing, really interesting, but enormous.
Huge thing to take on.
Yeah. Lasted about 7 or 8 years and then burnt out a bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
The thing I found hard about being an agent was the responsibility of looking after other people's careers. And when the industry was like really slow and nobody had work, I used to actually worry about the actors.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous because I can't control the industry.
No.
But I did. Yeah.
Agents take a lot on themselves, I think, and I think they're always the first one to get blamed.
Absolutely.
For not getting work. The amount of people I hear saying, "Oh, my agent's not getting me work." I'm like, mate, no one's getting work.
No, it's not there.
Not them.
Exactly. And also, I guess actors also have to kind of generate their own opportunities as well. You can't just sit back and rely on your agent to pluck work out of the air.
Hence the name of the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's right. So how did you put that into effect?
Well, it changed dramatically for me once I left the agency, or left the role of agent, I should say. I went back to uni and I studied social work, which is completely reversed.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah.
And worked for about 5 or 6 years, I think, with young people at risk. And that was amazing.
Yeah.
Also burnout, huge role. I mean, it was more, I wanted to do something with, not that being an agent didn't have purpose, but I wanted to do something that had big meaning for me and for humankind.
Yeah.
So I did that for many years and then one day I saw an ad in the paper for an audition with vital statistics.
Oh, yeah?
And I went, oh.
Yeah.
An audition and got the role.
No, and what was it?
It was a wonderful show called Bull Bar Tours, and it was back in the Catherine Fitzgerald's era of Vitals, and it was in a big wool shed, and we were a group of people going on a tour in the outback, and the audience followed us round. We were in a Jeep and they would follow with their little chairs and then sit round the campfire with us while we did the next instalment of the show. It was like one of those promenade shows. It was so fantastic. And that's really the point where I then committed to the arts. I needed to do a lot of things in the world to look at where I fitted, and I knew creativity was huge, and I brought that into everything that I did. Even my teaching methodology when I was teaching little kids always had a massive creative component, as did even the social work. I would bring kids in who were disengaged or disadvantaged in some way and run a workshop where we'd do creative things.
Yeah.
And they loved it and I loved it, and it became joyful. And I think that's when I went, how can I harness my creativity? I'm still looking for other ways in between official kind of gigs, because the joy of creativity is just part of who I am.
Yeah, I think it's something that's missing in a lot of people, and they don't realise that creativity is so essential for all of us.
Yeah.
And we're so, I think it's so easy to get distracted by the chaos of the world and prioritise things for ourselves. And we put creativity at a really low tier of, priority.
Yeah. And I think if you can put creativity and purpose together, like purpose within the world, humanity,
Yes.
wow, that's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah.
And it can be such a small thing, but bring joy.
Yeah.
One of the things that some people know that I do out of the industry is work at an end-of-life care unit.
Right. Yeah.
And, people are still alive. Just because they are palliative doesn't mean that they're not interested in living. And I bring creativity.
Yeah.
And it can be such a small thing. It could be reading a book to them because they can listen still but not actually have the strength to hold a book or whatever, or making something small to give to a family member as a gift, and small things like that. And that gives me immense joy because it's purposeful. Yeah. It's about links with people, and it's a privilege as well, Yeah. So, and the I'm babbling on now.
No, it's good. Please babble.
Please babble?
Yeah.
Gosh, nobody gives me permission to babble.
It's a podcast. It's for babbling,
The other one I love, the other area of my life separate from actual film and theatre and stuff is patient simulation.
Oh, right.
Because,
you did that too?
Yes. You're working with med students, psychology students, OT students, physios, and there is purpose. They're learning. Yeah. But also it gives you practice in your craft and creative opportunities and money, which is also important. But I love that as well because you see students grow and learn through just you playing a character.
Do you find it difficult at times? As not the performance part, but
It's tiring. If you've been given a scenario where you have to cry all day or you have to be angry all day by, say from 7:30 in the morning till 5.
Oh my God,
you're pretty tired by 5.
It's amazing that you found this thing at such a young age and you've carried it through, and it's also injected itself into different aspects of your, non-actor life, It's so lovely to know that you've carried it through your whole life. But were there any sort of pivotal moments in your learning or moments that were like...
Do you mean like highlights?
Yeah, sure. Like highlights of your career or...
So many highlights. There's two that jump into my head, if you can cope with hearing about two.
I've got time, yeah.
The first one was, I remember going to a grad show at AC Arts and watching a young woman perform, and I really loved what she did. And I mentioned to another performer, Charlie Sanders, I said, I'd love to work with her. And Charlie said, let's do it. So we did. We found a play, we did it. It won a Fringe Award, which is exciting, but it went to Edinburgh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And when we got the invitation to perform it in Edinburgh, I just of course, my immediate response was, oh, no, I couldn't perform in Edinburgh. I'm not one of those actors. You know, it was that self-deprecation,
the imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome, all of that. And we had to work hard. We had a small grant, but not enough to get us there. Yeah. So we had a quiz night. We sold wine. We did everything, to get ourselves there. Yeah. We found some accommodation with a friend, and I remember Charlie and I had to share a room, and it was the tiniest room. We'd kind of be in our beds, and he'd say goodnight to me, and his face would be – it was so funny. Yeah. And we did 4 weeks in the Gilded Balloon, and I think we did something like 24 performances in 27 days or something like that. It was insane.
Oh, my God.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done. We had to bump in, do the show, which took an hour, bump out straight away, and then go marketing the rest of the day.
Oh, my – wow.
We were absolutely flat out, but it was so exciting.
Yeah. What was the play called?
It was Joanna Murray Smith's Love Child.
Okay.
And it was the most beautiful play. We had people, women particularly, who had surrendered children when they were younger, would come and see it and weep because Joanna Murray Smith's writing is just glorious. But I remember sitting on the plane coming home and saying to Charlie, if I never work again in theatre, it'll be okay.
Oh, yeah?
Because, I mean, it isn't. I want now, bring it on. But
I don't feel that now, just for the record.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was the excitement of travelling overseas. Yeah. It was the daring. How dare we, this tiny little group of three, put something on and show it at a big international event. Yeah. It was the people we met there, I remember one morning standing looking at the reviews to see if we'd got any posted up on the big billboard. And a woman next to me said, oh, you got a good review. And I turned around, it was Hannah Gadsby. And typical Chrissie, who got starstruck, could barely string any words together to speak to her. But, it was a thrill, an absolute thrill. Yeah. And scary. But we still did it. Yeah. There
was another story, didn't you remember?
Oh, the other story, I guess, I mean, there's so many, but the one that is current or fairly current was I was in Queensland, and this is the irony of our industry. I was in Queensland caring for a family member who was unwell, and I was up there for about 12 weeks. And I remember thinking, wouldn't it be lovely to get some work? But, that won't happen. And my Queensland representative rang me and said, hey, Chrissie, while you're here, you interested in a short film? And I went, yeah, why not? Yeah. Well, that little film, which we shot in the Sunshine Coast, has gone from festival to festival, and I travelled with it, including a trip to LA. Really? To an event. Yeah. Gorgeous film about an old lady who had dementia and the ocean. And, of course, I love swimming, and a whole lot of the shots were underwater sequences.
What was this one called?
And the Ocean Agreed, it was called. Yeah. And it was the lowest budget imaginable. Yeah. It was shot over a week in the worst weather conditions known to mankind. Sunshine Coast had been sunny, warm, beautiful, still water. the week we shot. It was as rough as hell.
Oh, really?
I got dumped. It was
Really?
It rained. It was freezing.
Yeah.
And I met the woman who directed it and wrote it. I've become amazing friends with.
Who was that?
A woman called Tanya Medini.
Mm-hmm.
She's had quite a few really interesting projects on the board. Another one called The Moths Will Eat Them Up, which won a big award.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to the ACTA Awards with it. I mean, how amazing that a little, why not?
Yes. You never know, hey?
You never know. And this is, I think, such a great learning with our industry. The tiniest thing can take you somewhere exciting. And some of the big things that you think are going to be it just aren't.
No. I mean, look at the I don't know, the Filippo brothers, right?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Like a few years ago, they were just
Raka.
just they just had their YouTube channel, and people weren't giving them. They were starting to get some opportunities.
One with the Raka.
Oh,
boys.
one of the
early ones,
the crazy superhero things,
up to my ankles in blood.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I had a stunt double, thank God, because I would have had to throw myself downstairs and done all sorts of things.
What happened to you in that?
I turned into a monster. I was an old lady who'd suddenly turned into a monster, and it was a preposterous script.
Yeah,
but very funny. Yeah.
But I mean, you never know who's gonna. You just got to say yes to these things don't exist until we make them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say yes 95% of the time.
Yeah.
I always used to say yes, but lately I've said no to a few projects, not because they've been bad or I haven't liked the script or whatever, often for self-preservation reasons.
Yeah.
Like I'm mindful that I'm not 21 anymore, and sometimes
wait, hold on.
sometimes I tend to take on a lot, and my family are reminding me of a lot of that too.
Although they think you should slow down.
Yeah, and I won't. I won't slow down, but I have become more mindful of my time and energy.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the criteria for picking a project then?
A script that leaps at me will always do it. I mean, when you read a script and you just go, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yes, it's easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll pick up a script and go, oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure where this is heading.
Yeah.
But I look at who is directing, who's written it, who's in it, and that usually gives you a bit of a guide of what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Or, am I going to enjoy this and am I going to find this experience positive?
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never hated anything I've worked on.
That's good.
I've mostly just had a marvellous time.
It's always nice being on set with you. Every time I come on set, if you're there, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good day, because all the downtime I just spend just chatting with you and making coffees. And
I think that's lovely on set when you get to just hang out with people, and often that's when little relationships get forged,
Yeah.
And also I get over I get so starstruck by people. I'm hopeless.
Oh, do you?
Oh God, yes. and on sets, I've learned not to be, because you discover that they are just actors, and they are maybe just as nervous in some cases as you are, or happy to sit and yarn.
Yeah.
I haven't struck many divas, to be honest. Very, very rarely.
Yeah.
And that's pretty wonderful.
So who's a name that you can remember feeling nervous about working with?
The first time I ever worked with Hugo Weaving, I just thought, what will I say to this man? How will I? And, you don't want to be the person that stalks or the person that ingratiates.
Yeah.
You want to just do your job. Anyway, he came up to me. We'd just shot our little scene together. And he came up to me and said, Chrissie, would you mind very much if I walked with you to lunch and sat with you? I just went, no, this lame little person. And we started yarning, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
And he is such a beautiful, of course, human being. And just a normal person.
Yeah.
But it's, when you've watched someone who's you clearly just think is wondrous.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that people have been nervous around you or just nervous to be on a set?
Well, I'm usually the nervous one, but I've just learnt to hide it.
Oh, well, that's probably the trick, isn't it?
But I think, people talk about not being nervous, and I think that nerves harnessed are a good thing. Nerves show that you care about what you're doing, and nerves can give you adrenaline as long as it's harnessed and controlled. Yeah, and I try and kind of control that nervous energy. What I love on set is that collaborative feel when everybody's kind to one another and everybody works together as a team and there's no hierarchy. That's my ideal.
Totally, yeah. And I think it's nice when people sort of recognise what everyone else is going through. If you see someone that's nervous on a set, if we can sort of help each other out to, okay, look, it's not that bad. Or like Hugo that might come and say, hey, come for a walk with me to lunch, let's get on.
I couldn't believe it.
Let's just
he said he
get
needed
on the same
some
plane
fresh air, and so did I.
And then suddenly there's calm on set and there's no hierarchy and it's just now we can collaborate and be creative together.
It's beautiful. And some actors just like to stay in their vans with the door shut, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine
because I know on my last project, one of the actors did that, and she said to me, don't think I'm being rude, Lovey, I just need downtime. And I utterly respect that.
Yeah, of course. She
had a massive role.
Yeah.
She needed to regroup, have a look at her script,
learn the lines. And,
yeah.
I want to know what are some principal mantras that you sort of carry with you in your career or on a set. How you stay calm or how you maintain creativity or the calmness or.
Well, handling rejection would be a place where I'd start from. Yeah. But knowing and reminding ourselves, I include all actors in here, that not getting a role doesn't mean you were shit. It just means you weren't the right person for the job.
Yeah.
Getting a role also can just be luck. You can work your butt off for an audition and get nothing because you maybe didn't look right or somebody else was just better than you. Or you might get a role because you matched somebody else. In some way. So I keep being mindful of that kind of stuff, that don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard. I think I've only ever been upset once when I missed out on something because it was a fantastic opportunity and it clashed with something else. But, hey, that's life.
Yeah.
Work hard, know your lines, God. And the older I'm getting, the harder it is to take on board. My bank is full. Filing cabinet is full.
Yeah, right. I see. Yeah.
And but I make sure that I know what I'm doing and I ask questions. Never assume that you know what you're doing. Yeah. At the beginning, I used to be a bit afraid to maybe say, hey, look, I don't really get this. Now I say it because I'm old and I've got nothing to lose.
as in to the director, understanding direction or understanding the text or
if you think that, that didn't work, say it. Just say, oh, I'm not sure that worked. Yeah. Whereas before I'd just go, wait, and hope that everything went.
Why do you think that was? Why did you think you used to sit back?
Oh, just insecurity maybe. Now I'm more inclined to go, and speak my mind. Not a lot.
Because you realise it's a collaboration now.
Collaboration. And wanting it to be the best possible take or whatever. Yeah. Do you know what this is going to sound so Pollyanna, but be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind even when things are going wrong and everybody's stressed and people are going off, because that happens. Yeah. Be kind, supportive, try and...
Yeah, you don't want to be the one, you don't want to be part of that storm. You can be the calming force in that,
Yeah. You never know what's going on with someone else, that's that thing about... Yeah. And I was saying to this young man on the train this morning, he was talking about some stuff of his, and I said to him, I always sit there and I think in my head, it's okay, this is not about me.
Yes.
And that really helps.
Yeah.
Because puts a little boundary in place.
I should write that on my hand every day, I think.
And the other one I love is not about me, or you are enough.
Yeah. What does that mean to you?
You are enough is I can only be who I am. Mm-hmm. So you are enough, Chrissie.
Yeah.
Don't try and be anything else.
Yeah.
Everybody else is taken.
Yeah.
you know. And I suppose it's taken me a long time to work that out. Some people find that earlier than others. But I had a really okay if I just tell a story?
Mate, please.
I had a really interesting thing happen recently that taught me a big lesson.
What's that?
Well, about 5 years ago, I lost my sight in this eye.
Right.
So I've got a green eye and a blue eye, and the blue eye is a little bit odd. It doesn't quite move properly.
David Bowie.
David Bowie. I know. Yeah. I actually call this eye Bowie.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
But his eye was more lit up than mine. Okay. Mine is fading, but that's okay. Anyway, I was very conscious of it. Yeah. And every audition I did, I was thinking, oh, God, they're going to hate me because of my weird eye, And it got in my way. And I was talking to people who'd say, look, no, it just gives you an individuality, but it didn't matter. I had to discover this for myself. So what I decided to do was to get myself a lens to put over the eye so it would match this one.
Right.
So I paid, I think it was $1,000 for this contact lens, and I was all thrilled with myself, and I had photos taken with the new lens in, and I had a hilarious day with the photographer because it kept slipping, and he'd say, I love your eyes moved again, and we'd have to stop and push it into place. Yeah. And anyway, I put my headshots up on platforms and things, and the first 2 gigs I got post new lens, I said to both directors of the 2 projects, I've got this new contact lens to put in my eyes so that I will look normal. And both of them said, no, we love your eye the way it is.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a great learning.
Yeah. What did you learn from that?
Just be you.
Yeah. You're enough.
I'm enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, we all are different. We're not perfect. We bring our own self to every job. And I thought that was such a good example.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we're going to change.
Yeah.
We're going to get old. We're going to lose our hair.
Yep. And that will bring us into a new range of opportunities.
Exactly, yeah.
So now I am getting quite a bit of horror.
Okay.
Which I think's hilarious.
Yeah.
And cranky old ladies.
Right, yeah.
Bring them on,
yeah.
you know.
I keep going for all these auditions for cranky old ladies, and I see who's taking the roles, but okay.
And that casting stuff is really interesting. I've had a run of dementia lately.
Oh, okay.
A lot of dementia roles.
Yeah.
And I think, that's interesting. What do they see when I'm being cast? I'm always curious to know what are they seeing that particularly earmarks you in one flavour.
That's a very tricky line to walk, I think, as a casting director, to be like, okay, it's a dementia role, how easily offended someone might be for that,
I don't. It's work, and
it's work,
and it's a challenge, Give me something that I can sink my teeth into, that I have to research, observation of other people, finding some experiences from my back life that I can throw in. That's the joy. I've never had lovely, cuddly nana roles ever.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm not.
What was your role in that? First of all, that's not true.
Well, I think I'm a spiky porcupine nana. I'm very loving, but I don't look like a roundy.
Chrissie, I don't see you as spiky porcupine, but okay. It's It's funny how we see ourselves.
I
isn't
know,
it?
I know.
What was the one you did with, is it Lily Drummond? The Bear Hunt?
The Bear Hunt. That was a sweet little film,
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen some frames and it looks amazing.
She was kind and loving. That was good. But she was very quirky.
Okay.
And I love the quirks of roles, the opportunity to find those little,
How do you find those?
I think a lot of them are just part of me, to be honest. I think they pop up.
That's interesting, hey?
Little bits of you that you perhaps don't show normally that kind of come out, like the voices in my head that I talked about.
Yeah.
The little bits of me that bring together the whole.
I love that because
I've given them all a name.
Have you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They've all got names.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is so great.
The little sides of me.
Yeah.
They're in the radio drama named.
Oh, okay. These are the
little
the parrots and
Parrot is the self-critical one.
Right. Yeah.
But a useful one too, like a character or a part of me that reminds me of things because other parts of me go off very boldly without thinking clearly and need reining in. So it's that knowledge of self and being able to play with the parts of your own psyche, I think, that you know. Because I don't know anybody else's psyche. It's I'm the only one I've got. I can play another character, but I can only bring what I know to it.
That is so beautiful. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I teach one class a week. That's all I've got capacity for, right? And I think people often get confused with what character is, and people think it's like it's just playing something completely different to, I don't know, just making these really bold physical choices and that's all it is. But I was trying to sort of articulate this to my students recently. And we were talking about this phrase, you are enough. And I was curious about what that meant to you, but there's sort of two different ways to look at it. There's you are enough as in like you as a person are enough. But also as an actor playing a character, you are enough. And to me that means we're looking for a human and you are already a human. So you are already enough to play a character. And so when you are actually playing someone that isn't you, and it might be very different to who you are, but you're always bringing elements of yourself to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and all the little voices and the parrot and whatever other names you have,
I won't divulge all the other names.
Yeah, no, they're yours. That's fine.
I had a very small role in Troppo up in Queensland.
Yeah.
And I had to play this woman who was a raging redneck, angry, gun-toting mama who just was enraged and killed.
Right.
Now, that doesn't quite fit with Chrissie Page. She's not very rageful.
I rarely see you do that.
But do you know, as soon as I had that gun in my hand, I don't know what happened, but there was this like power thing that came up. And also there is a part of me that can get pretty damn angry.
Yeah.
And I used that. And it was lovely. That came out in a clown workshop once, very inappropriately with Hugh Parham.
Yeah.
We were doing a clown workshop and we had to reveal our inner clown. And I discovered mine was a really angry bastard, yes. And I had so much fun freeing that.
Yeah.
And then I used that with this character with the gun because normally I'm, quite happy-go-lucky, joyous character in real life, my real me. But there is this bit that can get pretty damn angry about usually world events and things and injustice and poverty and all that. Very angry, but that's more political. But I discovered this kind of rage in the clown workshop that was so much fun and safe to express.
Yes.
You know? So I use that with some of my not quite so nice characters. And now that I've found that, it's really good.
Never give Chrissie a gun.
No. Well, she did. I had to for a stage show once do gun training at a gun range. I was so scared. But weirdly,
that would terrify me.
Weirdly again, once I actually had it in my hand and the target, and I hate to say it, quite enjoyed myself. And I still go, ooh, when I think that. But I think it was more about power, which is a bit scary when you go, if that's how it felt for me, then how does it feel? I'm getting too deep now. How does that feel for people who don't have control? You know, you could see. Yeah, I don't know how we got onto that either.
I don't know.
I am good at segue.
I'll run that by you and see if you want to leave all the gun stuff in there. We get you arrested.
I hit the microphone about 4 times.
No, that's okay. But no, I love what you were saying before about putting yourself in the character. So you are always just sort of injecting yourself in these characters.
Well, you have to, because you haven't got anybody else to inject in.
You're the only version of you have. Yeah. So how does that fit into how you sort of see yourself, or what you think you're capable of before you go into a role? Do you trust that you can adjust yourself to take on different life experiences? Or
when it comes to theatre, I find it easier because you've got usually a 4-week rehearsal process, and you've got time to explore and play and find what you want to make of the character. Film is very immediate. Yeah. And what I find is I can do all the prep myself, but then get on set and not be right. They want something different. Luckily, I do have the ability to shift and change things. I enjoy improvisation a lot. Yeah. So and my whole life is an improvisation pretty much.
Well, yeah,
well, it is. And I love challenges, so that's good. But yeah, I think I've never had I've had one lead, I think, yes, in a film. Generally I get small roles, so you or support roles, which is wonderful, and give me over a lead role. Give me the small, interesting characters. I love it. But quite often you come in and there's not a lot of time, so there's not a lot of opportunity to rehearse or focus on anything, and you just have to be ready and to shift and change and be flexible. And I think, as I said earlier, asking the questions if you are worried, or talking to the director if you've got time, because sometimes you don't. I like to know what I'm doing. I like to be clear, but that's not always possible with film.
Do you ever find yourself seeking permission from a director or validation?
Not validation, no, although I will check sometimes if a director's got a really kind of face and I'm not sure about what I've done, I might just say, all good, just check in, because I think that's important. But sometimes that's just a thinking face. I know myself. People say to me, are you okay, Chrissie? You look terrible. And I'm just thinking. Because I'm not smiling, they misread me.
I had a boss once, and she would always come up to me and go, what's wrong? I'd be like, what do you mean? Why are you so angry? I said, I'd go put on this smile.
You had your thinking face.
Oh no, it's just my face. I'm sorry.
Well, I've got a scar that runs down between my eyes, so if I don't smile, I just look cross all the time.
Well, it might come in handy when you're holding a gun.
Exactly. Exactly. Use it. Yeah, I think when I was younger, I used to worry about how I looked a lot. I think we all do when we're very young and discovering who we are.
Especially like young actors, you mean, there's a lot of vanity that comes into it, in those early years, I think.
Well, vanity, but also trying to look like what they want.
Trying to show something.
But realistically, you can only, again, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Favourite quote ever, that is. And sometimes it's the very quirky little thing about you that gives you the edge. I know what I was going to say. Years ago, about 10 years ago, I did a workshop with a guy from LA. My agent brought out a producer or director or somebody. I don't know who he was. Can't even remember his name, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we did some scenes and he worked with us and it was fantastic. It was really great learning. But he said to me, oh, it's so refreshing working with a woman of your age who looks like you do. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, every older woman in Hollywood is having plastic surgery.
Oh,
Celebrate every line on your face. It looks beautiful. And I went, my God, that is the nicest thing to hear.
How lovely,
you know?
yeah.
And there were plenty of lines then and there's plenty more now. But it's that I can sell. You know, that's my little stamp. And, you know, I admire Jane Fonda's work. She's amazing. And I'm not comparing us, but Jane doesn't look like an 88-year-old lady anymore. She looks like someone who's had tons of work. And I think that's a shame. She's still amazing and I love her work and I love her politics and she's a great actor. But what a shame if you have to change yourself.
I know.
I recently auditioned for something which I didn't get, which is okay. And I had to laugh. The script arrived and it was a male role. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And I looked at it and I thought, okay, why have I been sent a male character? Is this, nobody had explained anything to me. Is this tokenism? Oh, you know, we'll just get Chrissie in so they can see her. Or is this genuine? Have they not decided on the gender of this character? What is this? And that's curious. So I just played it as whatever she was, which I can't describe because it'll give it away. But, reveal you know, it was written for a male.
Right.
And it was sent to a female performer, still called a male role. And I go,
interesting.
Couldn't they have written in she and given her a name?
Yeah.
And that's another thing, you know, a lot of scripts that I get, if it is small role, supporting role, minor role, whatever you want to call it, 50-worder, I don't care. The character is called Old Woman.
Yeah, give them a name.
Give them a name. You know, I'm happy to play old woman, but give her a name. And in fact, in a couple of instances on, you know, how you fill in your casting networks blurb and write your character and your film and who directed you. I've made up names. If it was called Old Woman, I've put Lily or whatever because I think, bugger it, give her a name. She's a person.
100%.
Yeah.
I often get, I've got a few drunk guys recently. I'm usually drunk guy. Or I don't know, bogan or something. And I'll message if it's a little indie or something, and I can actually have access to the director and have a good relationship. I'll say, hey, can we credit them as a character name rather than drunk guy? I can't just have drunk guy. You know.
Well, I did that on a very big.
Oh,
one.
did you?
Yeah, I had a very tiny bit in a very big Hollywood number up on the Gold Coast, and she was called Old Beggar Woman.
Right.
And I said, oh, God, out loud, why always Old Woman? Why not a name? And the writer was there and I didn't know.
Oh, my God.
And she went, good point. What would you like to call her?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and because she was a smelly old character, I said Oda. And they called her Oda.
Really?
I know. And I thought, go, Chrissie.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
That's amazing.
My age, I feel like I can at last have a little bit bigger voice or something.
A much bigger voice, Chrissie. Not just a little voice.
A little voice.
Not just a bit bigger.
Yeah. A growing voice.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so good.
Oda. You should probably end up on the cutting room floor. Poor
Doesn't
old
matter.
Oda.
It doesn't matter. It's a good message. Don't be lazy. Come on. Give them a name.
Give her a name. Yep.
Yeah. How do you find work?
Well, I'm blessed with a local agent and a Queensland agent. So simply because living up there for that short period of time, I got an agent up there, and they are great, both of them. They obviously put me up for things all the time. I have a very large network in the industry, which also helps, like been around a long time, I suppose, and a lot of really beautiful colleagues contact me and ask me if I'd like to be involved in projects. I don't put myself out there. Yeah. I'm really bad. I'm on network, like Casting Network, Showcast, blah, 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 which does it for you. But I'm really bad at self-promotion, terrible at social media. You know, I just...
That's fine.
I just can't.
It's so, it feels so grimy, the social media thing. I mean, I'm 100% in on it, but I so envy this like way of going about it without even touching it, you know.
Well, it's not that I know when you rang me and asked me if I'd like to do this, and I had a slight freak out because I thought, oh, it's going to be all about me.
Yeah.
And that's scary. That is scary.
Yeah.
I like to play the characters. Playing me is tricky. You know, like people say, oh, but you're an actor. We want you to MC our wedding. And you think, oh yeah,
I've
right.
done that. I've had that too. Yeah.
And I have done it.
Yeah.
But I've played a character. I've played an MC. And, you know, it's not easy to self-promote or schmooze. I'm bad at schmoozing. It's really interesting. I was at an event yesterday that was great, but there were 1 million people there, and I walked in and went, oh, God, you know, freak out, 1 million people. I like it when you're in the corner with 2 or 3 others having a nice chat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my idea of connections and, yeah, the big event things are a little overwhelming.
Well, that's why I did this, because there's a pressure to make content as an actor these days. And the question is like, what the hell am I supposed to make? But so I started making these reels, and some of them were, you know, a bit of fun and over the top and whatever, but not me. And so the question is, who am I supposed to show online? Because I'm supposed to be myself.
Yeah.
But you put a camera in front of me, it's going to be a character, some kind of character, even if it's a version of me. But but at least with this,
you can just chat.
We can just chat, and still there's you know the cameras are here, and you're thinking about I'm editing in my head and all that stuff. So there's a little bit of that in the mix. But this is what I want to show. You know, this is I want to show, and these are the conversations we're having in the corner of the room at the premiere or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And actors love a yarn.
Yeah. They do.
Sitting and having a yarn is one of my favourite things to do. What have you been up to lately?
Yeah.
And, oh, I heard about that. What a bugger, you know, just chatting. It's a joy.
Yeah.
Do you know, one of the things that I treasure about the industry, and I was saying this to someone the other night, is there's not many industries where you can have friends who are 78 and 20. You know,
yes,
we are so lucky. We can, because we are colleagues, peers, equals when we're doing a show or a whatever, you get to be friends and you get to just hang.
Yeah.
And I feel so blessed at my age that I have all these young, gorgeous connections with people.
Yeah.
And look, so funny, a lot of my non-industry friends will say to me, when are you going to give up, Chrissie? You know.
Really?
Yeah, you're still working. And I think, yep.
Give up.
I know, just the word give up.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
such an odd way
never.
to put it. Yeah.
If I fell flat on my face in the middle of a shoot, sorry about that, director and producer, but hey, I go doing something I love.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But yeah, we're very blessed in that.
We are,
you know?
Yeah. I feel very lucky to have found this.
Yeah.
And because it's so quiet, you can understand why people, I don't know, they have their best interest in mind, I guess, when they're saying like, you know, what else is there? But how many people in the world have actually found something they enjoy and are actually pursuing it? You know what I mean?
It's about loving what you do, and it's about risk, challenge, ups and downs. I mean, there's been some downs as well as some ups, and that's all part of the learning.
Yeah.
You know, not everything's going to work.
No. But that's the whole point.
Well, that's right. And experimental stuff,
Yeah,
I find totally thrilling.
Oh, yeah?
You know, somebody sent me something the other day and said, here's an idea. What do you reckon? Comments, please. Well, yay. You know, just having input and it might fall flat on its face. And a lot of my stuff has that I've tried to generate or written. And that's fine. It's getting it. It's the process for me. I am such a process girl.
It's about throwing the pasta on the wall and seeing what sticks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just keep making things, and every now and then you might find a gem, or you might create a gem. You know.
Yeah.
We just did this. I've just started rehearsing. Or we did a couple of workshops over the weekend for a play with Famous Last Words Theatre, which will be at the Goodwood Institute in April.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was really fun because the script is finished, but there's just a couple of little moments of meditation that we need to sort of figure out in the table read, you know, as we're discovering the characters, which is really nice because I've never really had that before, being part of that process where the director's open to changing things and adapting things to make it suit our characters and stuff. So much fun. We spent 2 days just going through the whole thing beat by beat.
Creative developments are fabulous.
So good.
Yeah. Well, there's no pressure. There's no pressure to perform, but there's invitation to just participate. And
and then you're all
playful.
You're all invested. Yes. Yeah. Be playful. Yeah. And you're all invested in the same project. Yeah. And you've all got a stake in it now, and you all care for it. As a collective, you know, I think that's the best sort of dynamic you can develop.
Yeah,
you know?
I've got a development coming up actually, which I've done one already. I won't say what it is because it's not ready, you know, and it's not my role to talk about it. But I'm so excited. I get to work with people I love.
Yeah.
I get to be playful. I get to try things out and bomb out and then try something else.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I love workshops. I love pushing myself out of my comfort zone and attending workshops and keeping it fresh because it can be a long time between gigs sometimes.
Yes.
And those workshops keep your spirits up and keep your skills up. And they're fun. They connect you with peers.
Do you find your approach has changed over the years? Or have you had sort of resets where you've gone, maybe I need to go in this direction with how I approach acting or the craft?
I find that I'll learn something like a new technique or a method or something because I am not a trained actor. I'm an actor who's learnt through experience and intuition. That's how I would define myself. And but I've attended a lot of workshops, tried out a lot of methods and techniques and listened a lot to what others have to say. And some of those things work for me, some don't. If I try too hard to work using a technique, I find I lose something of my own essence, which possibly is detrimental, you know, because you lose sight of that. I listen to my gut an enormous amount, you know, in life and in.
How do you reset if you feel you're going down the wrong track?
For me, or if I'm in a work scenario.
Well, I just mean if you feel in your gut that you're trying something, but you're not really connecting to it.
If it sits with discomfort, like I try very, very hard to be authentic, and I think like recently I saw Jimper.
Yeah.
Oh, now there is an absolute masterclass in authenticity.
Yeah.
Every single actor in that film is just so authentic, and I think that's Sophie Hyde's method she uses of bringing actors together with intense rehearsals and getting to know each other. That's the ideal in my mind.
Yes.
You know, where you've got time and space to explore, and often there isn't that, but you can step onto a film set clear and trust yourself. Alas, that doesn't happen a lot.
It doesn't. So how can you create that for yourself? Because that might be part of you. That might be part of the process for as an actor.
Yeah.
To find those opportunities to connect to your castmates.
Yeah.
Quickly, you know.
I think it's just to be true to yourself and bring yourself. Everyone else is taken.
I love
there
it.
we go again.
Should we have? I think we should have a counter.
I think we should. How many times can she say that in one interview?
As many times as you want. Keep going.
I can't remember when I first heard that expression, but I remember laughing and just thinking, oh, my God, that's so right.
Yeah.
If only somebody had said that to me when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
You know, instead of, no, that's not right, or just be yourself.
It's so beautiful, though. I think we got the theme for the episode, though.
Be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
It's really lovely. So what about your process? Like, you know, aside from finding time to to become comfortable with other actors on a set and being yourself on a set so that you can just be as genuine as possible and connect to people quickly, what's your process when you first receive a script?
Okay.
You know, and you sit down with it and you go, okay, where do I start? What's the mindset as you go into it? You know?
Well, to be honest, as soon as that email hits, my first thought is, oh, shit, when is this due by?
Yeah. As in for like auditions or? For
auditions, yeah. Oh, is that what you meant for audition? We start with auditions?
We'll
because
go
the
with whatever,
lead-in
wherever
time
the thought
can
takes
be
you.
very, very short.
Very short, yeah.
And, you know, quite often you're in the middle of something else.
Yeah.
I remember one recently that makes me laugh. I was in Sydney for 3 days with my granddaughter. January. Nothing happens in January.
Yeah.
January, actors have holidays.
Yeah.
And I get this message, hey, Chrissie, can you please put down this and send it to us? And I'm in a little hotel room with my granddaughter who doesn't read opposite you or anything. And I thought, oh, great, you know, thanks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could have gone to the equity office and someone would have read opposite me, but it was a holiday and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But that's a silly example. But it's a typical thing.
Plenty of hotel auditions, yeah.
Anyway, I have a read. I always say, yes, I will, unless it's completely impossible.
Yeah.
But I don't think it ever has been completely impossible. But often it can be a 48-hour, you know, lead-in or less, which is hard. And I try to dress not in character but give an impression physically if I can. Most of the time I never wear makeup unless the character is described as she is, you know, very painted kind of person, because I give them warts and all, because I figure then I can't hide anything. I can't get on set and they go, oh, you look nothing like you.
You don't put your lens in anymore?
No. And anyway, it takes about half an hour to get the blooming thing in. So I think that's been just popped away in the drawer.
Yeah.
Usually I get a member of the family to read opposite me, one of either my eldest daughter or her partner. Thank the Lord for family. I'm getting better with camera. You know, I got a little tripod. And I get frustrated, though, with the process and camera because at home there isn't generally good lighting or anything, but we're working on that. Natural light is best, I think.
Yeah.
Warts and all.
A good window.
A nice window.
Yeah.
Yep. Process, break down the script, have a look at what's not on the script.
Subtext.
Yes. Very interesting. Probably one of my greatest learnings, and I can't say what it is because it's not out yet, was recently, well, not recently, it was the beginning of last year, I was sent a script with one word I had to audition for.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of other people got that script too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, no, I'm not auditioning for one word. And my agent said to me, I'm so sorry that they're asking you to audition for one word. And I went, it's all right. It's easy to learn.
Yeah.
So we set it up and we shot the word, and then I thought, there must be something else I can do with this because I'm a bit bored.
2 words.
Well, no, I didn't use any more words, but I decided to create a little scene that she went into after she'd spoken because there was more dialogue on the page. She had actually left.
Oh, okay.
The script, it was end, you know, the word and then end, and then the dialogue continued with the other main actors. So I decided I would have her come back and listen in behind the door.
That's so good.
Just because I was bored.
Yeah.
And I thought, I know what I'll do. Yeah. So I came back. Well, they wrote me a whole lot of other scenes.
Really?
Yes. Small
Chrissie,
scenes,
how good's that?
other scenes. And I thought, there you go.
There you go.
You just get a bit cheeky and a little bit creative and you decide you're going to, you know, have a bit of fun with it. And I think with auditions that is a key, having fun with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's not right or perfect. It's showing potential.
Yes.
And I know one time my agent said that I did 2 takes, one that was very still and meaningful and very filmic and one that was over the top. And apparently they said to her, thank God she did that over the top one. We laughed like drains and that was the decider.
Wow.
And it was a completely random, silly take.
Well, there you go.
So who knows what people want?
But we do always get 2 takes, so
we do.
It's a wonderful story. But that's what they want. They want to see. They don't want a warm puppet. They want someone with ideas.
Yeah.
Because they don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
So,
and the one in Queensland, the one that I said has taken me on all these journeys, the script was a woman in the ocean talking to her granddaughter, the audition.
Yeah.
Just they were standing there and she was just talking to her granddaughter. Well, I decided I would start popping up out of the water and then running off and diving under afterwards. And the director roared with laughter.
Wait, so where did you shoot it?
In a creek.
Yes. Oh, Chrissie, I love this.
Well, with my daughter, poor daughter, trying to read, throw props at me, you know, all the stuff we do when we're trying to get something together. But the joke was a whole lot of other female older women auditioned and they were great.
Yeah.
But none of them thought to do it in the water. And also when asked, one of the questions that you had to submit was, how do you feel about swimming in the ocean? I had demonstrated, but also said, oh, I love the sea, you know. And a lot of them said, oh, yes, I can swim, but I wouldn't be able to stay in all day.
Right, okay, yeah.
And apparently this woman, Tanya, director, said, we just pissed ourselves laughing at your bum diving into the water and popping up. And she said, I just went, I want to work with her.
Very nice.
Which was pretty bold of her because I could have been terrible. How did she really know? But sometimes this is getting back to quirky, I suppose. Sometimes those little risks or crazy things you do pay off. Sometimes they bomb.
Yeah, but
who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Spaghetti falling off the wall, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I did an audition in the ocean as well once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah, well it was a war scene. It wasn't actually I'll explain it properly later, but it's meant to be kind of like a war scene, and we're swimming through the ocean. We get to shore, kind of like the Saving Private Ryan D-Day scene, you know. Yeah. And I was like, man, I could shoot this in front of a grey wall and pretend to be splashing around, but I just said, I called my friend who's a cinematographer, and we shot it on an iPhone. So can you just help me out, mate? I got to do some swimming. And we did the whole war scene, and I dug a trench on the beach.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And I jumped in the trench, and it's like dodging bullets and stuff. And I got a call back.
Good. And, that's all you can ever ask.
Yeah.
Do something a bit different, hoping for a callback. Once you've got a callback, you've got a little bit more of a chance, and you can present yourself and they can see who you are and what your potential is, and they can work with you.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the saddest things I think about self-takes now is back in the good old days when you'd be called into an audition, you got to work with the casting director and they'd say to you, no, that's not what they're looking for. They're looking more for this. So you do that.
Yeah.
Now you just blindly do what you hope is a good thing or what they want. And, it's all a bit of a game now.
It is a bit, eh?
Having said that, though, the ones from interstate that you can't attend in person, at least you've got a chance online, which is...
And you can send a video of you on a creek now.
I know. And it was so funny because at one stage in the middle of the dialogue, a boogie board, not a boogie board, a paddleboard went past with a dog on it. And she said, and we love the dog too.
That's so good. Oh, that's so funny. It's funny, like... I've done a lot of like kind of outrageous or self-tapes, like, well, not outrageous, but, within the brief.
Yeah.
And when I started taking more risks with my self-tapes, my friends would be like, what are you doing, man? That's not how you do them. And I was like, oh, but...
It's how I do them.
But nothing else is working, man. No one's noticing. And it was the thing that started getting work, really.
Yeah.
And
now you got to look at it and go, what have I got to lose?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm already losing.
Hey, I'm
already not getting the work, They already don't know who I am.
Exactly.
And also, again, like they want to see your creativity. They want to see that you are willing to take a risk on the day as well and play and, What's something you wish you knew earlier in your career?
Oh, have to have a big think about that. I think that it just boils down to... I wished I'd followed my dream earlier. I know you can't look back and change things, but I wished I had said to the principal of the school, well, that's what I'm going to do. One friend of mine did and went on at, I think, 18 to start her career and with great success.
Yeah.
I wished I had... perhaps bitten the bullet earlier. But then if I had done that, I would have missed out on meeting Morna Jones at Teachers College. I would have missed out running an agency, studying social work, all that network and wonderful learning I wouldn't have had.
Yeah.
I do wish I earlier had trusted my instincts more. As I've got older, I've learnt to absolutely trust and listen to my intuition.
When you're performing, or as in with
life,
just the choices you make in life?
In life, across life.
Yeah.
Plus, that's part of performing. Yeah, usually my first intuitive thought is the right one, and if I go against it or I have to listen, because recently, for example, I was sent a script, I read it, and something was just going, no. And I was going, man, I'm not doing anything at the moment, you know?
Yeah, right, yeah.
That whole thing of, yes, I want work, but it kept going no. So I said no, and I explained why, which was a variety of reasons, and it was the right call.
Oh, good.
It was, because I know since I said no, so many other little things that have happened in my life, nothing to do with performing, that, you made the right call, Chrissie. So it's very important.
Yeah. Well, I'm so grateful that you came in today, and it's really nice to catch up, even though there's cameras on us, but it's good to see you, and I'm sure I'll see you on a set sometime.
Hope
hopefully.
so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks so much for being here, Chrissie. This
Beautiful.
is great. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a lovely time.
Chrissie, you're the best in the whole world, you know that. What an amazing human being. So much love for you, Chrissie. Thank you so much for coming onto the show, and thanks for sharing so much with us. And thank you for listening, guys. Thanks for all the support. And hey, by the way, if you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to support the show and help me keep this thing going, why don't you make today the day that you become a Patreon member so that you can support the show for only $5 a month. And you can do that by going to patreon.com/gopluckyourselfpod. There's a link in the description below. $5 a month is like not even the price of a coffee, you know? It's like tipping me $2.50 an episode. Like when you see a busker and you chuck your loose change into their guitar case, it's just like that. But it's automatic and it's easy to sign up to, and you can listen knowing that you're making a huge difference to keeping this show going, because this thing is entirely listener funded by you guys. You're the listener. I'm not beholden to any advertisers. This is completely independent. So if you've been listening and enjoying it, if this podcast fires you up creatively, please do me a favor and type that link into your browser to become a Patreon member. It really does help, guys. All right, make sure you give us a follow on Instagram at GoPluckYourselfPod, and give me a follow at featuring_Chris_Gunn. All right, theme music by my amazing cousin Nick Gunn. Check out his work on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Nick Gunn. Thanks for being here, guys. Happy Easter. I hope you're all doing okay out there. It's tough at the moment. I know. Drop me a message for a chat sometime. Let me know how you're going. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you in a couple of weeks with another amazing guest all the way from Sydney, the Big Smoke. I'll see you then, guys. My name is Chris Gunn, and hey, go pluck yourself.